Actually, yesterday at one of the breakout sessions, the theme was time is the enemy, but there are other enemies too. So I want to explore that a little bit with our panel right now. So we've heard about accelerated courses. Buffy, you developed an accelerated course model. So if 15 to finish doesn't work for non-traditional students, how is it that you still get students to graduate on time?
Because we're still following the 15 to finish model. So our ACE program is highly structured. We were talking a lot about guided pathways. This is guided pathways on steroids. We have taken our associate degree for transfer requirements in business and in psychology, and we have pre-selected all the coursework for students, their major coursework as well as their general education, and given them no choices about what classes they have to take. The universal response to this from students is, thank you. It's a very clear path of what they have to take. And then the other piece is how we structure the classes. So if you want to put up this slide. Where is it? Oh, anyway. The classes are compressed or accelerated, whatever term floats your boat. We have a 17-week semester, but instead we compress the classes into 8 weeks, and students take 2 classes an 8-week block, then they get a glorious week off with no homework, then they take another 2-week, 2-class, 8-week block. One of the classes is always fully online, the other class is always a hybrid class, and it is always offered Tuesday, Thursday evening from 6 to 9. There's no question over the length of the program what time and day they will be having class. So the program is structured over a 24-month period. So it's 4 classes in fall, 4 classes in spring, 2 classes in summer, 24 months. And it's very clear exactly what they're going to take, exactly when they're going to take it. They can structure their childcare, they can structure their homework time. Everything is clear. It's also consistent. So the students really have, it's obvious to them what they're doing and when they're doing it.
So I need to wrap this up, even though we just got started. But I do want to hit one final point, and I want to give a lightning round. When you think about the fact that there are achievement gaps, and we know that students of color are less likely to go to college, less likely to graduate, even though we don't accept that, we know that. So that means that the population of some college, no degree, or no college, no degree is overrepresented with our students of color and our low-income students. Reflect on that, please, and how your programs help with that.
So at the University of Memphis, our program with Finish Line, we have, in our population, we have found that 50% of our students are first generation. 70% of our students are from underrepresented minority groups, and 70% of our students, a little over 70 actually, are low-income students. And so we have found that I call my advisors completion concierge, because this population needs additional support and guidance. So when we recruit a student back to higher education, and we're working specifically with students that have 90 credit hours already, we're going to wrap around them and provide them the support they need to graduation. And that's very important for these students, and it can't be done without that.
Any other reflections on that before we close up?
I'll echo that. In Matt's session yesterday, talking about what works for adults, that idea of a one-stop shop for adult students, honestly, one-stop shops are amazing for all students, but particularly for working adults who, number one, often cannot come personally to campus during the day, and number two, don't have time to call this office, then call that office, then call this office. You need a point person like Tiffani, like the completion concierge, like our student success facilitator, where the student can go and they can get questions about financial aid, academic processes, policies, help navigating a situation with a faculty. Anything and everything needs to be able to be done within that office. or if it can't be done within that office needs to direct the student to exactly the right person on campus and help that student navigate how to ask the question and what they can expect in return.
Yeah, so to piggyback on that and to borrow a phrase from military and my friend Mike out there, bottom line up front, students have to understand exactly what it's going to take to graduate. Creating an efficient, effective path is the key element to the first conversation. When a person sees that pathway laid out, they see it as something they can do or something they can't. And if we don't create efficient and effective programs through prior learning assessment, structured scheduling, and specific and focused coaching, we will not make a dent in that 36 million people with some college and no degree.
Thank you so much to my panel.